Okay, it says we're live. Okay. All right. How's everyone today? It's Bob. We're gonna get the Thursday night concert interview series back on Thursday nights. How it was. Every time I get things moving, all of a sudden I get sick. I get a technical difficulty. I run out of people to interview. So this is our first one back in 3-4 weeks. We had our technical difficulty. The computer's debugged allegedly. We were just talking, me and my guest backstage. So let's hope that when we're live, if she goes all robot-y, I'm going to take it off of Facebook, okay? Because anyways, that's what we'll try. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get our guest up tonight. And our guest tonight is Cheryl. So welcome, Cheryl, to the show. How are you today?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the offer of doing the interview.
Hey, and I thank you for deciding. You came right away and said, "Yep, I'm in." I like, and all you people that watch me at this point, if you notice, most of my guests have been regular people. It's our regular people that just happen to like motorcycles, and they're in the motorcycle community. A couple guys with our beards, our red rum guys, and that, but they're bikers. But you know what I mean. So this is kind of what we're doing. We got our comments going. Is that you, Steve? I think we're going to have some comments and some questions. I've made some friends on the stateside, and I'll put the comments up on the stage as they come in, and I'll ask you the questions as they come in as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to share the screen with that. So, what'd I do? Maybe I shouldn't have done all that. Let's go back to where I was. There I am. Wow, that was weird. Okay, we were not going to share the screen with that. How did it put my face up there? Get me out of there. We were supposed to put that forest height motorcycle thing. So, anyways, so let's just get to it. Cheryl is one of the helpers, and a motorcycle kind of ride by for a long-term care help home that she works at. And I'm going to let you say the rest because it's your show. It's your thing.
Okay. Perfect. It's not really a ride by. What they do is they do a barbecue, a 50-50, and they're raising fund money like they'll do for, we've done it for Habitat for Humanity. They've done it for Sending a Child Smiling. This year, I'm not sure who they're donating their funds to, but we have not had a Christmas party for our staff in probably, since pre-COVID. So I think some of the fund money they want to give towards the staff towards a Christmas party because we haven't had one in such a long time. Other than that, it's like a meet and greet for these residents. They just love it. It's been going on since 1998, since 1998. It started apparently with 8 guys coming to visit one of the guys that was a rider with them in the nursing home, and then it just grew from there. So I tried my best to get the word out. The most we have had, I do believe, was 150 people showed up one year. It was unbelievable. It was so hot. But yeah, we try to do it at the beginning of June or in June, so it doesn't get too hot for the residents to be out in the sun too long.
So instead of riding by, you guys are inviting everyone to ride over on their bikes and then have a barbecue and a little meet and a greet and kind of a little thing there.
Yeah, so what they do is they park around a circle. If you don't mind the residents, they'll sit beside your bike and take a picture, or if you'll allow them to sit on your bike, you get a picture. They dress up in motorcycle gear. It's incredible to see when you ride in. It'll bring tears to a guy's eye. It really does, yeah.
And like you say, it's in Kitchener, so basically, as long as they know where the Forest Height Community Center is.
Yeah, it's 1700 Queen Street.
Okay, is that the starting point or the ending point?
We meet up at 2:30 in the afternoon. We kind of just sit around and we talk chit chat, and at 3:00 we fire up the motorcycles and we just ride around the corner to the nursing home, park in the circle, and and the residents are all out in the front. They're clapping as we ride in. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. So how did you end up getting involved in helping with it? Just because you worked there, but you said you ride, didn't you?
That's just it. I was probably the only rider there, the only female rider. I think now we do have 2 other gentlemen that do ride in the facility, but I started working there in 2009. 2010 is when I started to try to get the word out. And
Nice.
actually, it's been growing since then, except when it rains.
Well, I'm not sure if I picked this up off of Facebook or if you sent it to me on Messenger, but either which way, it got to me at some point. So that's what see. If you see me looking to the side, I'm looking at the other monitor at the poster there.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is. So it gives you what else does it give you? It gives you your contact info.
Mm-hmm.
You can get that near the end, and the fact that it's in Kitchener. Oh, so you put that part on because so many people are saying, "Where is this?" It's funny
Yeah.
how many things I posted. I wasn't, where is this?
Yeah.
But I guess if you're not from Kitchener, like I'm not, I wouldn't know where Forest Heights Community Center was either.
Yeah. It's off of Fisher Holman and Queen Street. There's a big, huge super center or like a Zares food,
Yeah.
and behind that is the community center.
Is it okay?
It's like a block away from the community center, so you just kind of ride around the corner and into the nursing home.
Right on.
Yeah.
So and all the residents seem to like it. I guess the ones that don't want to participate don't have to come outside. I'm supposing is how you do it, right?
Pretty much all of them will be sitting outside. And there's
Yeah.
174 residents now in our facility.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you put some extra work on your coworkers, did you?
Well, gives them something to do, eh? Hey.
Where and when for both. Yeah, I'm with you, War Boss. It is the big thing. And like I tried to say in a post one time, is that the people that are doing like bike nights and stuff like this,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not that easy to make a poster. I'm on 2 or 3 of those. I got Canva, I got a Bodhi, and I still have a hard time making my thumbnails for my videos. It's supposed to be click, click, drag, and click. No, it isn't. Stop.
No.
Not for a guy who's 58. I can't click, click, drag, and nothing.
No, I get one of the girls to do up the posters. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at computers.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's right. A lot of these posters, I just grab them and share them onto the group because I'm
Yeah.
in so many different writing groups from one end of the country to the other, and that's how I gather my information. Right? They
Yeah.
end up popping up on my timeline, and so all this stuff, I just kind of I like this stuff because I bet you maybe years, well, it could be any time. There's going to be a percentage of your residents
Mm-hmm.
that rode at some point in their life. You know what I mean?
Yes, there is. Yeah. Actually, it's funny because one of our oldest residents that we had there, it was her 101st birthday that day.
Ooh,
She jumped on the back of one of the motorcycles and went for a ride.
get on out. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then she passed away shortly after that. Yeah.
Well, at
But
least she got that bucket list thing.
she got her dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to go for a ride in a big bag
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Yes. It brings a big smile to their faces. It's unbelievable.
Now, what kind of people do you get? Do you get people from clubs and from riding organizations and all that?
Whoever shows up doesn't matter to us. We've had guys in color. It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
No, I think that would be a
Yeah.
good thing for a club to do to get the word out there that they're not all bad boys and
Mhm.
that's kind of what I'm doing with this whole channel because I used to be in a 1% club. I've
Mhm.
done it. I went to jail. I did all that crap. I lost everything I owned. And then I got out and waited however many years, I think it's 10 years, without getting any trouble. And I got a pardon. And then I got my kids. Or I got my kids and then the pardon, one or the other. And
Yeah.
then somewhere along the way, I decided to write a book about
Oh, interesting.
my experiences. You should check it out. It's a good one. It's on Amazon. It's One Night at the Playpen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a cool book. It's about my time inside the motorcycle. Now, I had to take it down the first version and revise it and do it properly and
Yeah.
get the club names and stuff out of it. The first version, I was like, yeah, nobody will care anymore. It's been 22 years. They care. So
They remember. They remember.
they care. Don't do that. So, so I took it back down. I spent another 6 months on it, rewriting it, and now it's based on a true story.
That's good.
But
Good.
it's still the story. If you were a biker around a certain time period, the late 90s, early 2000s in Ontario, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without having to say anything that makes anyone pissed off at me, because it's just the way it is. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, is show the rest of the world that yeah, there's tons of bikers that are out there and they do illegal things. Doesn't mean that that's what the club's all about. It means they
A
happen
lot
to
of,
be in that club.
and a lot of people turn their lives around.
And then a lot of people also
Yep.
retire or quit or get thrown out, whatever
Yep.
case is, and turn their lives around. You can't be a guy my age and thinking that you're going to go running down backyards in a foot chase with the cops. It's not going to happen.
No,
You know,
you're an
you know
easy target at that point.
exactly. All right, you got me, man.
Easy target.
No, don't you doggies get in. Now, what do you ride? What kind of bike do you ride?
I have a street glide.
Oh, we're even on a
My
Harley, man. Awesome. That'll be
yeah,
my
my
next.
my husband has an electric glide.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just looking at one because on the Biker News Canada thing, I did some side chats and I did one for buying and selling because I hate the main feed getting stuck full of, because a lot of those things for sale are scams anyway.
Oh, okay.
So you really gotta watch and wonder when you're buying stuff like that online. So I told everyone don't sell stuff on here, and then I did a side chat so they could do it off the side chat.
Yeah.
There's an '08 Ultra Classic in there for under 10.
Oh,
Not a bad deal. I just sold my '08 Street Glide for a little bit under 9, but I was like needing the money today.
yeah.
So the first guy that rolled by with 9 grand rode away with my motorcycle, and I cried because it was worth more than that, right? I had the 21-inch front wheel. Like somebody else already done it when I bought the bike. It had the
Oh,
21-inch front wheel. It had headers, true dual exhaust with 2 different pipes, no Y pipe. And I think it had a tuner under the seat because that thing flew pretty good. It kept
oh,
up
okay.
to most of the other bikes I rode with, except for the CVOs. Those CVOs fly.
Yeah, I can never understand why they want to have it it's called a cruiser for a reason.
Well, yeah, I know, eh? That's the only thing that I don't act my age is on a motorcycle.
That's my husband. He'll drive his truck the speed limit, but get him on the bike and he forgets someone behind him. Thanks.
Now, how long you been riding? A long time?
I've been riding since 2006.
Good for you.
Martin's been riding since, oh, geez, probably since he was a kid, dirt bikes and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think that's a great way if you got kids to introduce them into the motorcycle world. If you can afford it and you can get them on a dirt bike, try to.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can. Everyone's got to understand that. But I think it's a great way to do it. So 6, did you take the courses and all that, or did you just jump on it and your husband showed you?
Actually, he told me to buy the bike. I bought a Honda Shadow. We had an acre of property, so I rode around the property, and then there was a motorcycle riding course here in Kitchener, but at that time I lived in Windsor. So I
Mm-hmm.
came all the way to Kitchener to take this course, and yeah, I never even rode a bike before until
Yeah.
actually how it all started is we went to Montana. And every time he would say, see that, all I would see is a big head in the front of me. So when we got home, I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I said, I want to ride my own. So,
Oh, you went all the way to Montana on the back.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can see
Oh,
that
yeah.
not be much fun.
Yeah. So we've been as far as 2011, we rode to the Grand Canyon and home. 2015, we rode to the California Redwoods,
Oh,
up
that'd be
to
nice.
Oregon, back down and around. Yep. We've
Wow.
been to Arkansas, yeah, Tennessee,
Wow.
Kentucky.
How'd
Yeah.
you get all them miles in? Good for you guys.
Well, like you said, if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna ride it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, good for you. Yeah, see, I did that even because when I was getting into the club life, they were recruiting me not because of my skill on motorcycles. They were recruiting me for me and this and that, right? Whatever, right? Side reasons. So I took the course at the community college in London, Fanshawe. The same deal, right? From they get you pushing the other guy around on the bike,
Yeah.
and but it teaches you your balance and it teaches
Hmm.
you what, and then they show you how to anyways, I recommend it to anyone. Any of them courses, learning curves too.
Oh, they're great courses to take.
Hmm.
I would love to take that one that the guy, oh, he's a retired police officer. What was it
Yeah.
called? Oh, but he's out of the States.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought there was a secondary one coming up in Canada too for bagger riders. If I
Oh,
find
what?
it, I'll make sure I post it.
Okay. Okay.
I know that there's one. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Up to 7,000 people on the Facebook page. Now I got to get them to convert to the YouTube page, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, I know that there's a like a second one for even after you've got your full M and all that stuff, and you can go and take some more courses for high speed get out of the way maneuvers and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing
For me.
I always love that when you push steer on a bagger, it feels different, eh?
Hmm.
It feels different. It feels counterintuitive, but man, it works.
Yeah. Actually, who I'm also looking for is oh Bikers Against Bullying. Do you know who they are? I'm looking for that club
You want that one in particular?
for yeah, for children. It's children.
Yeah. Because I know that I'm involved right now with one called the North American Templars, NATI, North
Okay.
American Templars International, and they're one that helps abuse kids and stuff. And then there's BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Yes.
And then all through Ontario and the States, there's Guardians of the Children.
Okay.
I know there's Bikers Against Bullying as well. I know I've seen them somewhere. I just haven't seen that back patch on an event poster. You know what I mean? I'd
Yeah.
have to look for them. I'll search them for you one day and see if
Okay.
I. Well, you looking to join a group like that?
No, I have a girl at work whose daughter's being bullied.
Okay.
And then there's another girl that just came to me and told me that her grandson is being bullied. And I was
Oh,
telling them about these clubs, so they asked me if I could get some information for them. Yeah.
okay. I'll look for you when we're not doing this. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, Tommy. Thanks for you made it, brother. I told you you would, Tommy. Yeah, it is hard to convert from one platform to another, but keep after it. Yeah, bro, I'm keeping it going. A few great clubs here in North Carolina who do wonderful things to support the children. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's all the ones I named off. I bet you there's more that I don't even know about.
Yeah.
You know what
Probably
I mean?
more than likely.
But the bullying one, if I can find someone who's close to Kitchener, who's willing to come on down there, I'll send them and see if I can get you guys together and speaking
Okay.
and see if we can
Perfect.
make something happen, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times with the bullying ones, like June, school will be done in June, and half them kids will graduate.
Yeah.
My son in grade 8, because I moved him from way up north, and he was with his mom, and then I brought him to London, Ontario, and then I took him to a doctor and got a diagnosis on paper because I always knew, but his mom would never admit it. He's autistic.
Oh,
Well,
good.
before he got diagnosed, the kids in his public school were bullying him like hard.
Hmm.
I called the school and like, what are you going to do about this before I go ahead and do something? And it won't turn out well for anyone because I didn't have my pardon yet and I didn't really care, right? So we went to his grade 8 grad and it turned into a big hullabaloo. My daughter's yelling at that kid's sister, and I'm yelling at the kid's mother, and oh my God, I yelling at the principal, but nobody did a damn thing about it in the
No,
school. They say that they're not this, not that. Bullshit.
they say zero tolerance, and I don't believe it. I really don't
No,
believe it.
I think just whatever is easiest for them so that they can get the paperwork off their desk and say that something happened, but
Hmm.
nothing happens.
The
It's just,
sad part is the child usually ends up taking their life, which is what happened to my niece's friend. She was 14, being bullied in high school because they couldn't afford nice clothes. Well,
right.
she committed suicide at 14 years old. It's
Isn't that,
sad.
isn't that horrible? A friend of my
Yeah.
daughter's did that to herself. Not quite that young, but about boys bullying her. You know, they got her drunk, and a couple boys did whatever they did and took pictures like they do. And oh my God, next thing you know, the kid was dead. So
Yeah.
how do
It's
you
sad, eh?
How do you like yourself now, gentlemen? Like little guys, eh? They don't got no brains in there, man.
No.
They don't got no brains, and And so
Um,
now I'm starting a new channel. I'm just putting it all together and getting the pieces together. And I'm gonna do much different from this, but similar in the fact that it's an interview format, but it's gonna be the survivors of abuse.
oh, okay.
So, I got to tread around the questions lightly and get it worded properly and
Mhm.
bleep out what shouldn't have been said for YouTube's ears. But
Yeah.
it's going to be about, tell me about your childhood and then tell me kind of roughly when it started happening and without going into details, what sort of things were happening. And then did you and how did you get help?
Yeah. You should do one on addiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, see, a lot of the women that I knew that were addicted, and that was their backstory,
Yeah.
right?
Well, friend of mine, she was an addict. She became an addictions counselor, and now she is actually a minister. Yeah. Amazing.
Steve, thank you for coming and supporting the show as always, brother. It always makes me smile when I see you, and I hope your knee gets better soon, bro. And what was that blood clot? I hope that didn't turn out to be anything bad, but just seeing you in my chat always makes me smile, brother. Get better soon, okay, bro? I'll talk to you in Mikey's chat soon. I'm in and out of Mikey's chat these days. I'm kind of sometimes there, sometimes not. But yeah, well, see, that's the thing is, I worked in a strip joint for years and years as a disc jockey.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. So of course I dated a bunch of the girls as you do, and some of them I was closer to than others. Is some I became really good friends with, and a lot of them girls, a good percentage of them, their backstory is uncle whoever touched them when they were little,
Hmm.
and they've had no kind of respect for themselves ever since, and they were doing that for a living, and of course the drugs were part of that life. It is. I don't care. You can show me as many documentaries as you want that the girl said, oh, I don't do drugs on work. Yes you do.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Why are you gonna take your clothes off in public without being altered mentally?
Hmm.
I don't see it. So what's Tommy saying? With the bullying, they defend the bullies, saying that they're the ones with the issues. That's my experience with my daughter who is severely autistic. Oh shit, Tommy, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, yeah, they didn't do anything to the bullies. And like the problem is my son, you can speak to him like you and I are talking right now, and I can have a conversation with him for hours because he's my son.
Hmm.
But in front of people, he's not that open and doesn't want to open up. And
Is
he's
he?
always
He's functional. He's a functional autism.
yeah, but he doesn't do money. He doesn't do money. He doesn't do math. He doesn't do the time of day. They don't really register with him. So he's
Okay.
always going to need someone there to help him and then cook him his supper and stuff like that, right?
Wow.
I mean that's my job. Make sure he's fed.
Hmm.
We'll make sure he's fed and have someone to talk to. Yeah, imagine because if his next stop is I'm not around and he's on ODSP, they'll put him in an apartment. They'll send somebody over with meals for him. I know they'll do that. And he doesn't really need to be reminded to shower anymore. But what kind of life is that going to be for him? He's got no one to talk to anymore at that stage, right? He'll
Yeah.
be sitting there in front of his PC and that'll be it. That's no life.
Hmm.
I can't talk him into getting a job or nothing yet. Maybe one day he'll get to it. I don't want to rush him on nothing. I don't want to
Hmm.
force him because as soon as you force him to do something, he doesn't do it properly, and then you end up wishing you hadn't went that road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How old is he?
Shit, 21 now.
Oh, he's okay. I thought he was. I thought he was young.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, he's getting up there. Yeah, like you
Hmm.
say, my cousin, and they got to put him in some sort of facility, and it's going to break my aunt and uncle's hearts. I know it is because they both quit their jobs to be with their son, but now he's too big, and for whatever reason, he got violent along the way. So they've got to do something with him, right?
They usually send them to us.
Yeah, yeah.
I and
Well,
I deal with the behaviors in the nursing home. That's part of my job. I'm
I
what
don't-
they call BSO PSW.
Oh,
So we're trained to deal with behaviors and how to figure out what to do with them to change the behavior.
yeah, yeah.
It's yeah. Some days you feel like a human punching bag.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But at least they,
Yeah.
at least now I know in my head that they do have someone there, wherever there is, that hopefully cares about them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You couldn't do that sort of job without caring about the person. I don't think at some level.
No, no, you could not.
You know, you got to have some sort of human empathy, right? 'Cause
A
that's
lot
a
of empathy, a lot of compassion. Yeah. Put yourself in their position. If this was my family member, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gone to see him, but see, whenever we go and see everybody, it's a family reunion sort of set up, and for whatever reason, he's doing cool, right? So that's great.
Yep.
Well, because he likes his great grandma, probably, right?
Yeah, true.
Hey,
Good
Red,
friend.
thanks for popping on tonight, brother. Good to see you over from Mike's chat. I appreciate all you guys have come over and give me a check out. I will. Where's War Gorilla? I don't see him. Oh, maybe he's on the Facebook comments. I'm not getting him or something. War Gorilla, if you're here, good to see you too, bro. So yeah, like I say, these are the guys that come over from the American Biker News chats, but I don't do biker news the same way they do them, which I think is fair enough because I could spend half an hour a day saying, this guy from that club got arrested, this guy from that club got arrested.
Yeah.
In my mind, it perpetuates the government's uh, narrative on bikers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
And I don't want to be a part of that because I know when our club all got taken down and we watched the news and we got the papers, the crap they were saying about us was ridiculous.
Hmm.
It's like, geez, like we didn't do all that. We had a police chief who was waiting for his turn, Fantino, for his turn in Toronto to be the police chief in Toronto, moved to London, became our police chief for a year or two. Well, he's waiting for his turn in Toronto. And he puts a big, bold headline across the London Free Press: Police chief vows to rid London of outlaws. What are you talking about? Like, what in the hell are you talking about, buddy? We never did nothing to you. You know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Oh,
And then, yeah, there's my dogs. It's almost time for their walk too.
oh, mine's crashed on the couch right now. I hope he stays there.
I got a couple boxers in the lab, but they're all old. They're all old.
Oh, I had boxers. My oldest was 15 and a half before he passed away.
They're such good dogs, aren't they?
Yeah. Well,
I,
now we have a King Corso, so
no, they're not bad dogs.
yeah.
My brother's does more of the big dogs, and I'll do more of the medium-sized dogs. But just the boxers with their personalities and the looks they give you and the way
Yeah.
they were, like, geez, they're funny.
Yeah. Yeah. This one here, he's 150 pounds. He's a big boy.
Wow, Red. So Red was bullied a lot when he was. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I was bullied a lot when I was growing up too. And then all of a sudden, I hit my growth spurt, and I went about 15 years old, and they stopped. I went tall and skinny, but they stopped bullying me at least then. And then it's hard because then all of a sudden you're in a motorcycle club, and most of the now some of the guys what they do in the club is kind of bullyish. Let's face it, right?
Hmm.
And I wasn't really into it, right? Because I'd been bullied when I was a kid. I didn't want to be a bully. 15 years for a dog is 105 in human years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's old for a boxer because that breed gets cancer, right? And
Yeah.
then
He ended up with a stroke and then going blind, and then he kidney function, and I had to put him down.
yeah, yeah. Is he a white one or was he colored?
No, he was fine. And then
Fine.
I had his son too.
Oh, so you've had a couple boxers.
Yeah. And then our last one was a brindle, and then he's seen a cane corso, so that's what we got.
I don't like you say. I don't mind the course. Those aren't they from the Mastiff family?
Yeah, they're Italian mastiffs. Yep.
Right, right. That's yeah, yeah. But they're beautiful dogs. They're kind of one man dogs away, aren't they? Usually
They're what? Sorry.
a one man dog.
He's very attached to my husband.
So he
Yeah.
listens better to commands from your husband
No, he listens to commands from me.
because he knows that
My husband, yeah, my husband is the play guy. Yeah. Well, what happened was when Ruger was only a year old, caught my husband off guard. My husband's like 6'2" and 300 pounds. Caught him off guard because he seen a squirrel in the backyard. My husband went to latch the gate, had the dog's leash on his arm, and the dog spun him around, and he went down 6 cement stairs and crushed his entire arm. Yeah. So he was home for 8 months. So now the dog is attached to him.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
thing, eh? Just from an accident with your dog.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Yeah. And then he took my mother out. My mother broke her femur in her leg. 'Cause she was
Wow.
waving, yeah, she was waving her hands around, and he thought she was playing, and he jumped up and he knocked her down and broke the femur in her leg. Yeah,
Your dog's
yeah.
a menace to the family. So
We call
Tommy,
him I call him Bone Breaker.
well, I guess so.
Yeah.
The doctor must be laughing when he hears them stories.
Oh yeah. Uh,
I was just looking at the chat. They're still talking about bullying, which is fine.
oh
I like
yeah.
that about the chat. So I was bullied till I was 12, age 12, and then the war started in the Balkans. So are you from the Balkans, bro? We had to grow up quick.
Oh
At 12 years old, if the war was in your country, that was a dirty old war, wasn't it? The Balkan War, I think. A war boss. I had a bully once. So I did befriended the biggest guy in school. Next time I walked home with him, the bully tried something, and he just threw him over the fence from Bosnia.
wow.
Man, that would have been a crazy place to be at 12 years old during a war.
Yeah.
Imagine all them kids in the Middle East. That's all they've known their whole life. In some
Sad.
some countries over there, that's all they've known the whole life. Things blowing up and rockets coming in out of the sky in the middle of the
Mhm.
night. That'd be horrible.
Well,
I think that they're really breeding a whole another few generations of people that hate us. And we're
yes.
not even American. We're
Well,
Canadian.
unless he wants to make us a 51, what, the 51st state?
Oh my, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
I I, I don't think the people of Canada have any will for that.
No.
I'm fine being a Canadian. I don't need to be American. There'd be two advantages for me. Is one, there'd be no more international border at Windsor.
No,
So
there wouldn't be.
I could ride on through and see you later, and nobody's there to stop you. And maybe our dollar, because their dollar's worth so much more than ours, but who knows?
Yeah.
Right? I don't ever know. With what he's doing with the stock market and his tariffs and stuff, he seems kind of bent on keeping this tariff somehow. Tariffs are supposed to be set against an industry or a company, not
Yeah.
a blanket tariff against the whole country. So they're not being used kind of, in my opinion, anyway. I do a lot of stuff on politics, but the people in the Facebook group have asked me don't put it on Facebook. So whatever, fair being. So I leave it on the YouTube channel if I
Yeah.
do politics, because we got some big decisions to make here in Canada too.
Yes, we do.
Because
Okay.
everyone thought the Conservatives had a runaway victory, and they did up until 2 months ago, and now who knows?
Yeah. It's
I
all up
kind
in the air at this point.
I kind of don't think it'll be blue now.
Mhm. No.
Like I say, got to see what the rest of the country says. That's a problem too with our country. Is what do they say? Most elections have 30% of the eligible voters cast votes. So that's not even 30% of the population. And then all you need is 50% or the most out of those 30% to be the new prime minister. So you could become a prime minister with 15% of the vote.
Oh, okay.
And it's not really democracy anymore, is it?
Hmm.
It's just kind of because they don't give us all the day off to go vote.
Yeah.
A lot
No,
of
they
people,
don't.
a lot of people don't care to vote. They won't go anywhere out of their way to go make a drop in the ballot box. A lot of people I know, most people under 30 don't vote.
No, they don't. Not at all.
So if they want true representation, they've got to get true voting numbers that are higher and make more sense.
Hmm.
talking about, I think the only disagreement we have with Canada would be over the hockey. Yeah, Red, you're from America, right? You live in the States, I think, don't you, bro? I think he's on the East Coast of the States.
Uh,
That's not your phone call. Are you still waiting on that phone call?
it's probably going to be, my mother just sent me a message that she's going to be calling in about 10 minutes.
In about 10. Okay. So,
Yep.
so do you want me to introduce you off and all that, or just wait for a bit?
Yeah, can you introduce me off? I want to get him back outside before I make my other phone call.
Okay, that's fair. So you guys who are watching, Cheryl told me before the interview started, she's got a phone call coming in. It's important. It's family stuff, and God forbid, I'm not stopping nobody from family stuff. So Cheryl, I want to
Thank
say
you.
thank you very much for coming on,
Perfect. Thank
and
you. Thank you for allowing me to come on.
I'm doing a calendar up this year. I'll make sure this gets into the calendar. Okay,
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
and I'll
Thank you
stay in
very
touch.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys, in the chat. Okay, they all say goodbye to you. See the good
Oh,
guys.
bye.
They're all good guys. All right. Thanks, Cheryl. I'll
You're
talk to
welcome.
you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. That was Cheryl. I think she's doing a cool thing. Now, what do you guys in the chat want to talk about? I don't mind hanging out here for a little while more. If not, we can pack it in. I think what Cheryl's doing is a cool thing. I think more people at more nursing homes and long-term care homes should think about shit like that, right? Get a little smile on their resident's face. I like that story about the old granny who was 101 and got on the back of a bike. That was wicked cool to hear that story. Fortunately, the old girl died shortly after, but I'm pretty sure she knew that was happening. You know what I mean? Imagine being that age. My old granny's about that age. So you're in Boston. I thought you were on the Eastern Seaboard. Oh, and then you moved to Northern Carolina with. Oh, so you're like you're a good bro with our brother Steve. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, Red, it's good to meet you too, bro. I'm gonna pack it in. Everybody else, thank you, Tommy and War Boss and Red and Steve for joining me tonight. I know they didn't sound like many, but you know what? Seeing some people in my comments really makes my day, guys. So I appreciate every last single one of you. Thank you, War Boss. I appreciate that, bro. You know what I mean? And we'll just keep these numbers growing. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I've got another great interview lined up with one broken biker. And they're the people that'll help you when you crash your bike and you still got bills to pay. So that's going to be a cool one. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate you making it today, bro. I really do. Yeah, man. That old lady, she must have had a fun ride. I wish I had a bike again. I try to get my old granny on it. She's about that age. You know what I mean? She's wicked too. She still does everything, my granny. If I go to her place, she's making supper. I can't do it. She won't let me in her kitchen. But anyways, like I say, so next week we got one broken biker, and then the week after we've got the organizers for a big biker bash in Niagara. I'm thinking it's Chrome and Thunder, but I could be wrong. But I'll know for sure when it happens. So that's for the next 2 weeks. I've already got lined up. So until then, I'll be doing dailies. I'm gonna try to get my daily on a regular time slot. I was thinking 6 p.m. maybe would be a good time slot. So I'll try to get the dailies coming at you on a regular. So if you're not doing nothing at that time, you know you got someone to watch. All right, Red. Thank you, bro. And I'll see you on Mike's chat tomorrow. All right. That's what we got for tonight. Thanks, everyone. Of course, much love to you all. Good night.